Yo, what's up? What's up? Tis I, your girl Kelly. And we finna first, let's get into the outfit. Because the PJs is popping. That's my little satin wrap. You know what I'm saying? Keep the hair moisturized. We finna make some fried cabbage. So let's just start out with my little, don't talk about my pan. Don't even say nothing. Mind your business in that. But we got to put some bacon down because that is our base. Okay. If you don't like pork, that's fine. We don't need to tell everybody in the comments. If you use smoked turkey or whatever else you use, that's fine. I don't need you to tell everybody in the comments either. Okay. Showing a little bit of the seasonings. That right there. Okay. Don't play. That's real. I say it, use it. That's this stuff too. That's the all purpose one though. You see it? So, and I love the Magi seasonings. It's like bouillon in a powder. And that right there, one of my secret ingredients. But just make sure we're browning our bacon. That's what we're doing. Yeah, browning. Okay. I didn't say blackening. I said browning. Okay. We just want a nice, good crisp on our bacon because it's important. But we also need the color from the bacon grease and of course the taste because I don't care what nobody say. Bacon makes everything taste better. Okay, and we're browning. Okay, we got a couple of other seasonings we have to put in here. Okay, there's your black pepper. There's your Leon parents. Don't worry about the bottle being empty. I got another one. And then we got some sesame oil as well. A little bit of smoked paprika. Okay, that's mainly for color. Okay, not too much. Okay, get into the bacon flick. You see that bacon getting flicked because oh, you need to turn it over. That bacon has to turn over, or you'll just be browning the same side of the bacon. So don't be too violent with it though. You still want to keep it in the pan. We ain't trying to replace it. So we're not gonna act like, I didn't skip a little bit, but just pay attention to the color. Don't focus too hard on that part. But you see how we got a nice little brown color going on here. Not too much dark skinnedness, but just trying to go through here and pick and turn over a couple of little things where we can, because this is the color that we're looking for before we start adding other things to the pan. All right. What are we adding? Sausage. Okay, this is a local brand. It's called Thompson's. I love this sausage. And the reason that we're doing sausage and bacon is because we're loading up on protein. You can put chicken in this stuff. Some people put shrimp in it. I'm not a big shrimp in the pan fan because to me it makes everything taste fishy. Okay, and this is the part where we're going to put our little bit of sesame oil in here. And that is actual my guy's sauce. So don't think too hard about it. And then there's some Goya, want some minced garlic. That's pretty much the only thing we're gonna put in here right now. And then we're gonna let all of that stuff mesh. Yes, that's my dog, my daughter's dog back there. No, she ain't supposed to have her tail in the. You see, she had to get kicked out. You got to get an invitation to get your tail out of my kitchen. I tell you, these fur children. And while we have this time together, we're just gonna just say if this is not something that you can afford to do dietary wise, then please don't say Kelly told me to do blah blah blah. No, you have to eat the way that is best for your own health, your own safety, and your own household. So we're looking for this pretty brown. You see how that got really pretty brown? We just wanted to have a little bit of a crispness on it. And normally when I eat sausage, I look for it to have a black jacket on, is what I call it. Same thing with my hot dogs off there. Gotta have a black jacket on. Otherwise, stay away from around me. But you see how it has that pretty brown color that's there. That tells us that it's time for us to start putting in our vegetables. And that is a half of sweet onion. And I ain't go too hard on cutting it up because I knew I was gonna break it up when it got in the pan. And then plus when it cooks down, it's gonna be a little bit softer. And we're doing that because we don't want onion and cabbage. And when I say we, I'm talking about me. As for me in my house. Amen. This don't have nothing to do with y'all. If y'all put purple onion in there because you want your cabbage to taste and smell like armpits and feet, then that's on y'all. Do what's best for you. Okay. I said that once. I'll probably say it again before the end of this video. Once you get a good coat on that, I gotta stop banging the side of that pan like that. My goodness. That's when you put your peppers in there. I use red and green. I used to do like all three colors of the peppers, but the orange and yellow really, in my opinion, don't do anything. It makes it very pretty. So I do eat aesthetically pleasing food. So I definitely like a little bit of variation in my food, but I'm also texture driven. So like the way this looks with some, it would be awesome if I could just eat it like that in a cabbage, but I can't because the crunch from the green peppers and onions would really, really have me in a chokehold and not throw up. So there goes some more sesame oil, and then you want to put about a tablespoon of butter. I call it a pad, and then we're gonna start putting our cabbage in there. And my daughter, she loves me, so when we buy cabbage at the farmer's market, we put it in the bag as a whole head, and then when we come home, she'll chop it up and put it back in the bag for me, so I don't have to do it while I'm standing over the stove. And you just want to make sure that you get a nice coat, even coat. And here we go with our seasonings, because now it's time to season. And don't be stingy. This is not the time to be stingy. And this is how I mix initially, because that if you get to trying to go in here throwing stuff around, you end up with a bunch of cabbage on the floor. So I just lift and shake, and that shakes my seasonings down, and it also helps to turn things over a little bit. There goes some more wash your sister sauce just for seasoning, flavoring. We decided to go with chicken magi for this. Sometimes we do beef, not all the time. And there go my regular magi sauce. I don't know why I didn't put that up in the screen. And white salt. Clover Valley. Anybody know what brand that is? Who makes Clover Valley? If you know who makes Clover Valley, drop it in the comments. Um, and then my black pepper. We going in with the season. And you can see already from just a few minutes that it's been in the pan, you see it's starting to wilt, right? Because that wasn't a whole head of cabbage. That may have been half the head of cabbage. Now I'm going back in because I want that whole head of cabbage. Normally we make a half a head of cabbage if it's just for us, but I was sharing this with some people that live behind me, an elderly couple's pastor and his wife. So, we try to share. When I cook, we take them a plate, a couple of plates, a couple of Tupperwares actually. So of whatever we make. And you see how that's nice and wilted. Okay. And we're going back in with some old seasoning. That's what we're doing. More chicken flavoring because that's just, the motif, if you will. That's the palette for this. And we're letting that sweat is what I call it. That's a pat of Kerrygold, probably about a tablespoon and a half. But that Kerrygold ain't no joke. That is the initial taste test because we need to see what's up. And that's how it came out. So give it a shot. Let me know how it comes out. Peace out.